Man, oh man, let me tell you. I There's a reason why you haven't heard from me or seen me. I told you that I was going to transform, and I tell you, I had no idea that it would be like this. I will tell you that I have seen God, folks. I'm telling you, it is not seen like you think. I know no one can see God and live. One, you haven't read the Bible if you say that. I know that it says that. And I know, man, I'm telling you, I've made such discoveries. And I'm going to show you one today. That I have been on a wonderful journey with the Lord. I'm in 2 Samuel. I started in Genesis. I'm working my way through. I just couldn't help myself but to do that with all that's going on. I told you that the key to understanding the book of Revelation is, ladies and gentlemen, is the Old Testament. I used to say just Genesis, but it's, man, like I said, I'm up to 2 Samuel. But Genesis, Exodus, all of that is key for the book of Revelation. Anyway, I started in Genesis, and I wanted to come through, and I wanted to, experience it newly, since we've kind of got a hold of the book of Revelation. And I tell you, there is some crazy ass shit in the Old Testament that will blow you away. And man, this God is so terrible, folks. So awesome. So full of mercy. So full of love. So full of wrath and death at the same time. Yeah. Anyway, so one of the greatest discoveries that I've made, and that you're not going to hear anywhere else, I don't care, you want to call me a cult, go ahead. You're not going to hear this anywhere else because no one else studies their Bible. And a big thing is, you want to know where the Garden of Eden is? Moses and all these authors are telling you where it is. And it's in several places, but physically, it is the land of Canaan. It is Israel. That is the Garden of Eden, right? And these books, the Old Testament, is a deed to a piece of land, folks. That is the debate. That is the issue here. Who owns that land? And God revealing himself over this and through this. Anyway, that what happened in that garden? The story of Genesis is setting up the whole story. It's giving you the context, the characters, right? And so as I explained to you, that where God brought Eve to Adam, where he saw her, he was elated with her. You are bone of my bone and flesh of my bone. Yeah, bone of my bone. He got a boner on. He saw her. God brought her to him. He had sex with her. They had a child and another child. And those children fought. Anyway, there is a place in Israel called Hebron. And in Hebron, there is the oaks of Mamre. And this is where all of the patriarchs buried their wives. Abraham was buried there. Abraham bought a field there in a cave. And the oaks of Mamre. Mamre means desire and lust. folks. And memory is where we get mammary glands. Mammogram, mammary glands, breasts. This, the oak of Mamre, which is in Hebron, is where the name is designating a piece of land. And Moses is saying that this piece of land is where Eve was brought to Adam. And we, as a people, Hebrews, have a genealogy that goes all the way back to Adam. And this is why this piece of ground is named this, because we were here first. This is our land. See? Do you get what I'm saying? The oaks of Mamre, that's where Eve was brought to Adam. And then there's Hebron, right? Hebron, very important. It was a city of refuge. What's a city of refuge? A city of refuge, a ridiculous thing that is said by the author. He's like, if somebody accidentally kills somebody and somebody wants to get revenge on them, they go to the city of refuge and they are safe there until they're on trial, till they stand trial. Well, David flees to all the city of refuge, and that's where he shows Saul mercy. And he becomes king. But then once he becomes king, something happens at a city of refuge. David sets up his kingdom, his seat, his capital at Hebron. Hebron. Right? And he starts killing people there. People that accidentally killed other people in his name. And he would kill them there, cut off their feet and cut off their hands and hang them upside down, kill them. And then cut off their heads and bury it with somebody in a grave at Hebron, right? So anyway, I want you to look at this, right? So if you're following here, so they killed Abner, who was Saul's son, right? These guys. And he hung him upside down, killed him. And he said, then David said to Joab, which is Joabi, Jehovah is father, or Yahweh is father, and to all of the people who were with him, tear your clothes and gird on sackcloth and lament before Abner. And King David walked behind the bier. Thus they buried Abner in Hebron. And the king lifted up his voice and wept at the grave of Abner, and all the people wept. The king chanted a lament for Abner and said, should Abner die as a fool dies? Your hands were not bound, nor your feet put in fetters, as one falls before the wicked. You have fallen. And all the people wept again over him. Watch, I want to show you. Just follow with me. Then all the people came to persuade David to eat bread. Like he's fasting. He's all been out of shape. And now, so he got up, right? And he writes this song, yada, yada, yada. And he gets up and they want him to eat bread. And he's like, no, may God do to me and more also. If I taste bread, he's feeling sorry for himself. Now all the people took note of it, and it blessed them, just as everything the king did pleased the people. So it starts going to his head, right? And so right here, Ishbosheth murdered. So this cat murdered him. Murdered Abner, right? Now when Ishbosheth, Saul's son, heard that Abner had died, I'm sorry, that's his brother. I apologize, had died in Hebron, he lost courage and all Israel was disturbed, right? So I want to get to this part really quick. I'm sorry for doing all this stuff. I don't want to. Anyway, right here. So these authors, they borrow stories from each other. And you get this weird sense that they're tricking you even. But what it is this is God revealing something. It's God. This is the thematic theology that we always talk about. It's novel-like. And the author is revealing himself through his writing. And there's characteristics that flow through each book that are the same, on and on and on. And it's the land, folks. It's the land. Watch. Check this out. Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at Hebron and said, "Behold, we are bone of your flesh." Remember when God brought Eve to Adam and he said, "This is bone of my bone and flesh of my flesh." Well, Israel is Eve. Well, it's we've changed directions here. They're worshiping David. Here you go. Previously, when Saul was king over us, you were the one who led Israel out and in. And the Lord said to you, "You will shepherd my people Israel, and you will be a ruler over Israel." So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron. And King David made a covenant with them before the Lord at Hebron. Then they anointed David king over Israel. David was 33 years old when he became king, and he reigned 40 years. At Hebron, he reigned over Judah 7 years and 6 months. And in Jerusalem, oh man, wait till you hear about that. And he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Judah. Hey, I know you're recognizing the Messiah in there. And that is on purpose. The author is doing that. But anyway, look at this word, Hebron. Hebron, right? See that right there? Right here? Right here? Hebron? Right? It's a city southwest of Jerusalem. Jerusalem. Jaru, my desire. And contend. Jaru, peace. Contend for peace and desire. Hold on, I'm trying to get this off. Okay, so Hebron. Watch this. We're going to look at something. Let me see if I still have it open. That's not what I want. 1 second. I want to show you this. Okay, so we're going to go here. And I'll show you. Okay. The elders of Israel. The elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron. Came to the king, Melech. Came to the king at Hebron. What does Hebron mean? Let's look at Hebron. Hebron, seat of association. Place in Israel, right? that's what you got to understand. These words come from places. They're related to other words. Hebron, an associate. Look at this. A streak, like as on the tiger. A streak. Streak. It also means partner. Hebron, partner. This is where something happened, folks. And this land is called that name for a reason. It is called a slash or a gash, partner, companion. This is where Adam was put to sleep, and a rib was taken from him, a bone out of his body, and a woman was created, a partner, a companion, a Hebron. Now, Hebron, it also means the gash or slit of a vagina. I know you don't like it, but that's what it is. I'm showing you. It's right here. You think it's a streak. It's an opening. Watch. We're going to go over here. Remember Isaiah 53? Isaiah 53? He was oppressed. You saw the video I just put up there. I'm not gonna focus on that right there, that word right there. I'm not gonna focus on that. That's the Hebrew word for oppressed. And he was afflicted. Yipta, he did open. Nahane, he was afflicted. Pai, and didn't open his mouth as a lamb. Se. To the slaughter. Teba. Mount Tabor. Slaughter. Yubal, that is led. Yubal, that is led like a sheep. Rahel. Pinne, before the shearers. Goziza, that is silent. Nelama. Yipta did not open his mouth, right? Man, you know that verse, right? Check this out. Watch this. Watch. I got to do this. I got to find the right one because I just wanted you to see something. Because remember, Hebron. Remember that. Oh, I got to get that out of the way. One second. Let me do this. Okay. I got to go here, all right? Check it out. Isaiah 53:5. Isaiah 53:5. But he was pierced through for our transgressions. He was crushed for our iniquities. The chastening for our well-being fell upon him, and by his scourging we are healed. So, is it stripes or is it a gash? Look. Watch this. He was pierced through, mahala, for our transgressions, pase. He was crushed, meduka, for our iniquities, aonote, the chastening, musara, for our well-being, selome, and by his scourging, haburat, Hebron, Cheburat, by his scourging, by his Hebron, by his Cheburat, by his Hebron. Get it? Do you understand what's happening here? Yeah. See, we're talking about something so beyond what we can imagine. Then all the tribes of Israel came to David at scourging, or Hebron, and said, Behold, we are bone of your flesh. We are your bone and your flesh. Previously, when Saul was king over us, you were the one who led Israel out and in. And the Lord said to you, You will shepherd my people, and you will be ruler over Israel. So all of the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron. God is bringing all of Israel to David, just like he brought Eve to Adam. And Adam was told to rule over the earth, and he didn't fulfill it. That's where Christ fulfills that. But listen, remember, he told Adam to rule over him. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at Hebron. They were came to the king at Gash, or coupling, or the place of the partnering, the place of the making of the mate. And King David made a covenant with them. This is when they were naked and they were not ashamed. They had sex with one another, Adam and Eve. This is when they came together. And this is symbolized in the covenant. The covenant. So all the elders of Israel came to the king at the place of the covenant, or the coming together, or the coupling. And King David made a covenant with them before the Lord at Hebron. Then they anointed David king over Israel. He will rule as God. That's what Israel means. David was 30 years old when he became king and reigned for 40 years. 40 is 4. 4 is the number of perfect man. He had a perfect rule. At Hebron, at the place of the scourging, or the place, remember, this is David. Christ hasn't even been born. We're dealing many, many years before. Hundreds. This is all types of Christ. Anyway, there's so much to share with you. You got to get excited about the Bible, and you got to read it. My gosh, I have, man. Every morning, it is my city of refuge. I can't tell you all that's happening in my life, but it is keeping me from going on live. And I hope that you are blessed. And I hope that you remember all that we talked about before. And I hope you understand that all that's happening is what we talked about. Persevere, overcome, Your name is written in the book of life. Do not take the mark. You know what we're talking about. Lord bless you, sister, brother. I'll talk to you again soon.